بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستغفره ونستعينه ونستهديه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا وسيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله من بعثه الله رحمة للعالمين هاديا ومبشرا ونذيرا بلغ الرسالة وأدى الأمانة ونصح الأمة فجزاه الله عنا خير ما جزى نبيا من أنبيائه صلوات الله وسلامه عليه وعلى كل رسول أرسله. My dear respected brothers, my dear respected elders, it is a great blessing of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He has allowed us to sit in His house for an extended period of time. We came for the Isha Salah. The coming of the Isha Salah, our participation in Isha Salah in itself is a great blessing from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Thereafter Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He gave us this ability to sit further in His house. And we remember the Sahabah kiram radiallahu ta'ala ajma'een. These individuals were some of the greatest individuals who stepped foot on this earth. And wallahi, some of the incidents that we've put together inshallah, you will see such amazing lives these Sahabah radiallahu ta'ala led. And such role models they were for every single one of us. Now, I received a number of texts asking me who's the first Sahabi going to be. And many people were under the assumption that it was going to be Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala anhu. But I thought to myself that the first Sahabi that we'll talk about inshallah is Khadijah radiallahu ta'ala anha. Khadijah bint Khuwaylid radiallahu ta'ala anha. Such an immense figure in Islamic history, and so some of the children. And I think your father told you to come forward and you came forward. So I think I'll give you some cake for listening inshallah afterwards. MashaAllah. So Khadijah bint Khuwaylid radiallahu ta'ala anha, she's the first individual we started with. So Khadijah bint Khuwaylid. Bint means daughter of. Khuwaylid refers to her father. That's the name of her father, Khadijah radiallahu ta'ala anha. He was a man of nobility. He was a very popular leader amongst the tribe of the Quraysh, and he was a very wealthy and prosperous businessman. She herself was born in Mecca, and as her family, she was raised with exemplary character, and she was very well known amongst everybody for her intelligence, her integrity, her chastity, her purity, to the extent that her actual title, she was given the title of At-Tahira. At-Tahira means the pure one, the chaste one. And she learned the tricks of the trade from her father, and she herself also excelled in business. She was a very, very profitable businesswoman. And she then married a man by the name of Abu Hala. She had two children with this individual, Abu Hala. But unfortunately, Abu Hala passed away a few years later. She then married another man by the name of Atiq al-Makhzumi. And she had a daughter with this individual also. But unfortunately, Atiq also passed away after a few years. And Khadijah was left with three children, two from the first husband and one from the second. Now, she was known to be very meticulous. I'm going to skip a few years. She was known to be very meticulous in who she chose to do business with. She wouldn't do business with anyone and everyone. She had a policy that she would very carefully screen the individuals that she would do business with. The way she worked is she would buy the goods in the business stock, and then she would send her employees far and wide. And they would go on her behalf to sell the merchandise. And some narrations mentioned they would go as far as Syria. So from the distance that they were going, her business was going very well, alhamdulillah. And then sometimes what would happen is she would then entrust these individuals to buy other stock and other merchandise from Syria and bring it back to Mecca. And so she could sell it here. Obviously that's how business worked back in those days. That you would have rare items that these individuals needed and rare items that these individuals needed. And so that's how the business would work. They would go back and forth. And so obviously she would require a partner who was very honest and trustworthy. And she was very well connected in Mecca. She knew all the different businessmen, the different businesswomen, and she kept her eyes and ears out for intelligent individuals of integrity and honesty, and somebody who has lofty principles. So it was not long until she heard of the integrity of the Prophet ﷺ. And she was conversing with some individuals, and she heard that, oh, there's an individual, Muhammad ibn Abdullah. He's very honest, he's very trustworthy. And remember, at this stage, the Prophet was probably in his early 20s. He hadn't made a claim to prophethood yet. He hadn't received wahi yet. And so in the age of early 20s, to be somebody who's known in this area, in the area of Mecca in those times, as somebody who's honest, as somebody who's al-amin, somebody who's trustworthy, it's a very great honor. And so she sent him a job offer. she sent him an offer and she said that, would you like to work for me? So Nabi said, I'll work for you. So Nabi Sallallahu went to do business for Khadijah radiallahu ta'ala. So she sent him on a business trip with her personal slave, Maysara. Maysara was her personal slave and she trusted Maysara a lot. And Maysara would accompany the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and he would observe the methodology of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, how he's doing business, how he's keeping accounts, all of these things. And when they returned from the business trip, Nabi Sallallahu had made immense profit. Nabi Sallallahu had made a lot of profit. He bought some very valuable items as well, and he made a lot of profit. And so Maysara, when he came back, he said to Khadijah that this guy is something else. He's the way he does business, the way he interacts with people, the way his akhlaq and all of these things. It's amazing. And this left a lasting impression on Khadijah radiallahu ta'ala anha. And she now started thinking that, maybe I should propose to this individual. Bear in mind, Khadijah radiallahu ta'ala anha, she would receive proposals from some of the wealthiest businessmen of Quraysh, but she wasn't interested in marriage at that time after the two marriages. And so she would receive loads of invitations, but she would reject them all. But Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, she thought, I really think there's something here, maybe I should get married. So Nabi sallallahu was at the age of 25 at this stage. And Khadijah was at the age of 40, and Allah blessed them with 6 children as it comes along. Now, this is where we find out about Khadijah radiallahu ta'ala and her interactions with the Prophet. And some of these stories are really amazing, like Ajib. So Nabi Sallallahu is close to now reaching the age of 40, and we know that he received his first wahi, his first prophethood revelation at the age of 40. So Nabi Sallallahu would go to the cave of Hira, and he would spend some nights there, and he would kind of meditate. He would meditate to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. At this stage he never had salah, he never had revelation, he never even knew he was a prophet. But he was looking for something. Just as Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam, it was in their natural, in their nature, in their fitrah. Ibrahim alayhi salam would leave and he would look at the sun and he would say, oh, this is my God. And then Ibrahim alayhi salam would see that the sun sets. So he'd think to himself, no, that can't be my God. So then he'd look to something else, and then he'd look to something else. And so the prophets had this natural fitrah to find Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to find a God. And so Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam would go and spend time in the cave of Hira. And Khadijah radiallahu ta'ala, she would take provisions for him. Sometimes she would take food for him, and then Nabi Sallallahu would sometimes come back down and spend some time with the family, and then he would go back. And so this was ongoing. When at this stage Nabi Sallallahu received his first prophethood, Jibreel alayhi salatu wasalam came. The story is lengthy, that's not the objective over here. We're not looking at the seerah, we want to look at the life of Khadijah radiallahu ta'ala. But very quickly, the Prophet Sallallahu received revelation, and you have to understand that even for anybody, to receive revelation, to interact with Jibreel alayhi salatu wasalam, it's a massive thing. Jibreel has just come, he said to you, Iqra, and you said, Ma ana biqara, I can't read. And Jibreel says, no, read. And he says, I can't read. And he says, read, and I can't read. And then suddenly words start flowing, and it's this amazing experience. And then Nabi Sallallahu was shaking, he was very scared, he was concerned for his life. And so he comes back from the cave of Hira, and he comes down, and he comes to his home. And the first person he goes to was straight to Khadijah radiallahu ta'ala. His heart was trembling, and he enters upon Khadijah and he says, Zammiluni, Zammiluni, wrap me up. You'll have heard the nasheed, Zammiluni possibly. Zammiluni, wrap me up. I'm cold, I'm scared. She immediately wraps him up and consoles him. Now imagine, she didn't turn to him and scold him and say, we playing that, you shouldn't have gone out this late, you bought this on yourself. No. She realized something's wrong. This was the intellectual and the emotional acumen and the understanding of Khadijah radiallahu ta'ala, that she immediately realized that, look, there are questions that need to be asked, but now's not the time. And she immediately understood this. She understood that the Prophet ﷺ at this point needed psychological support. And so she wraps him up and she sits with Nabi Sallallahu until Nabi Sallallahu calmed down. And she understood this is what Nabi Sallallahu needed. And then the Prophet Sallallahu turns to Khadijah and he says, Ay Khadijah, oh Khadijah, Mali, what's wrong with me? What's happened to me? لَقَدْ خَشِيتُ عَلَى نَفْسِي. I'm scared, I fear for my life. Again, in the life of Nabi Sallallahu we see raw human emotion. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala deliberately did this. The people of Quraysh would ask that why does Allah send an angel? Allah didn't want to send an angel because an angel doesn't have the needs and doesn't have the same emotional span that we do. An angel doesn't need to eat, an angel doesn't need to drink, an angel doesn't need to sleep, an angel doesn't sin. But Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam was sent as a human so that we can relate to Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. And Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam is extremely vulnerable at this stage. He says, Mali, what's wrong with me, Khadijah? لَقَدْ خَشِيتُ عَلَى نَفْسِي. I'm scared, I fear for my life. And then he told her of the full incident. Again, Khadija radiallahu ta'ala, extremely intelligent, what does she say? Kalla, it's impossible. What are you worrying about? Chillax, flex, don't worry about it. Kalla, abshiru, fa wallahi la yukhzika Allahu abada. I give you glad tidings. She's speaking to her husband, I give you good news. That wallahi, Allah will never waste you. La yukhzika Allahu abada, Allah will never waste you. And then she starts consoling him. Fa wallahi, innaka latasilu rahim. Most definitely, you tie the relationships. So you fix the ties of kinship. You know, when somebody argues with you, you go and mend those affairs. When somebody in your home has an argument, you go and join them together. You fix the ties of kinship. She says, وَتَصَدَّقَ الْحَدِيثِ إِنَّكَ لَتَصِلُ الرَّحِمِ وَتَصَدَّقَ الْحَدِيثِ. You speak the truth. Oh Muhammad, you speak the truth. وَتَحْمِلُ الْكَلَّ. You take the burden of other individuals. Kalla is the weight and the hardship and the burden. Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam was an individual who take the burden of other people onto his own shoulders. وَتَكْسِبُ الْمَعْدُومِ. And you help the destitute. You don't have anybody, you give them help. وَتَقْرِ الضَّيْفِ. You entertain the guests. وَتَعِينُ عَلَى نَوَائِبِ الْحَقِّ. And you help in all those things which are truthful, haqq, which are worthy acts, things of charity, all of these deeds in the community. Now take a look, subhanAllah, look at the relationship between Khadija and Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam is seeking this support and this emotional support from Khadija radiallahu ta'ala, and she handles it with such perfection. And it's in this statement you understand, it's as though Khadija is saying that, O Nabi of Allah, I love you for these exact same reasons. Allah will also love you because of these exact same reasons. These qualities that you have, that you help the poor, and that you fix the ties of kinship, and all of these beautiful qualities that you have, I love you because of these, and I know for a fact that Allah will never waste you. Wallahi la yukhzika Allahu abada. Allah will never waste you because He loves these qualities also. A beautiful way that she understood Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. And then she thinks of a practical solution. She thinks, okay, I've consoled him. She then takes him to Waraqah ibn Nawfal. Waraqah ibn Nawfal was a biblical scholar of the time. So remember, the last revealed book was actually the Bible. Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, from after Isa alayhi salatu wasalam, no other book had been revealed up until this point. Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam was to receive the Quran. And so the scholars of those times were the biblical scholars. So she takes him to Waraqah ibn Nawfal, who is actually a cousin of Khadija. Waraqah ibn Nawfal, they come to him, and Waraqah straight away he sees something in Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. He says that yes, in our scriptures there is mention of X, Y and Z, and again that's going towards the seerah, the life of the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, which inshallah we shall do soon, next month inshallah. But that's going into the seerah. We don't want to look at that. We want to look at the life of Nabi Khadija radiallahu ta'ala. So revelation and rulings of Islam started coming down. Let's skip a few years. Revelation and rulings start coming down. But she not only supported the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam with her statements and words. She didn't just say, I love you, O Nabi of Allah, or X, Y. She didn't just say things, but she practically showed this support. When Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam would stand in worship during the night, so Khadija radiallahu ta'ala would stand next with him. And bear in mind, when Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam received revelation, he was at the age of 40, which puts Khadija at the age of close to 60. Right? Look how much fervor and love and loyalty she had to Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. That at this age, she would come and stand with Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. She wouldn't know that. And she was an individual who was seen as lofty and status. She had nobility, she had everything. But then Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam says that I'm a prophet. And she knows what's going to happen. All her nobility and all her status is going to go down the drain. But she knows that this man, this individual is a genuine, truthful man. And she shows loyalty, which nobody else showed at this time. There are exceptions to the Sahaba. Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala, he showed amazing loyalty as well. But Khadija radiallahu ta'ala was an individual who knew Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam's ins and outs. And that's why I started with Khadija radiallahu ta'ala. And she deserves to be the individual who starts off this legacy of the superstars. And so, Khadija radiallahu ta'ala, throughout her life, she showed this loyalty to Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. But we truly appreciate Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam's sentiments and the way he loved her after she passes away. After she passed away, Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam felt such pain. He was absolutely devastated. She was 65 years old when she passed away. And the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam would always remember the love and the loyalty shown to him by Khadija radiallahu ta'ala. And even long after her death, Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam would think of her often, and he would mention her. And he would love those that loved her, and he would honor those that honored her. After Khadija radiallahu ta'ala passed away, Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam once came across a necklace which she used to wear. Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam came across a necklace that she used to wear. When he saw it, it reminded of her, and he shed a tear. He started to cry because Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam remembered Khadijah. And I want to kind of show you that Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, he was a prophet. He was a prophet. He was like the leader of the Quraysh. He was the leader of the Arabs. He was the leader of the Muslims. But he was also human. He was also a father. He was also a husband. And Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, when he saw this necklace, he shed a tear. And it shows it's a raw human emotion. It's not less of a man to cry. Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, when he cried upon the death of his son passed away when he was young. Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, when he started crying, the Sahaba said, but oh Nabi Allah, you're crying? Out of everybody, you're crying? And Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, this is the rahmah and the love Allah has placed in the heart of a human being. This is when you should cry. Of course you should cry. And so even after so many years, Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, and after Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam married Aisha radiallahu ta'ala, Aisha was younger. And so Aisha would, she has this amazing, when you're young you can say certain things and get away with it. And so Aisha would say things as she was younger, and she was very bold. Sometimes she'd say something which somebody would, you read in the Muslim hadith and you think, somebody said that to the Prophet? It was Aisha. She could banter with the Prophet ﷺ because she was much younger. So Aisha radiallahu ta'ala, she narrates that once Nabi ﷺ mentioned Khadijah, and Aisha said, she's such an old woman. Allah's given you somebody much better. Allah's given you me. She's joking, trying to make the Prophet ﷺ happy. Nabi ﷺ said, no. Allah has not replaced her with someone better. See, what Nabi ﷺ is saying, now the scholars have written loads on this. What Nabi ﷺ is saying is that Aisha, you're not any less. You're not any less, but certain things can't be replaced. You are special in your own self, but certain things can't be replaced. You are not a replacement of Khadijah. Right? You have your special qualities and Khadijah had her special qualities. But it's not a matter of Khadijah's gone now, I need to replace Khadijah. Khadijah will remain Khadijah, or Aisha, you will remain Aisha. You have not replaced Khadijah radiallahu ta'ala. She said, and then he says, she believed in me when the rest of the people disbelieved. She gave me a share in her wealth when the rest of the people denied me theirs. Allah provided me children from her. I mentioned that Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam had 6 children through Khadijah. All of his children came through Khadijah radiallahu ta'ala. She says, Allah provided me children from her whilst he denied me other than her. And then he said, and then Aisha radiallahu ta'ala, she thought, you know what, I'm not going to get anywhere with this. So she said, from now on I won't mention anything like this again. I won't blame you for your love for Khadijah. Because she understood. In another narration, Aisha radiallahu ta'ala, afterwards, later on, when she's mature and she's grown up much more, she says, مَا غِرْتُ عَلَى امْرَأَةٍ مَا غِرْتُ عَلَى خَدِيجَةَ. I was never jealous. I was never envious. There's 2 types of jealousy. There's the good jealousy and there's the bad jealousy. If somebody does good deeds and you're jealous of their good deeds, it means that you want to do the same. That's allowed. Scholars mention it's called ghibta, that's allowed. The jealousy that's not allowed is when you see somebody with something good and you don't think, I want that, you think, if only he loses that. There's 2 differences. One is, somebody has a nice car, I wish I had a nice car, that's allowed. But one is, somebody has a nice car and you think, I wish that guy loses his car, I hope he has a car crash, or something like that. First of all, him losing his car is not going to benefit you in any way. You should make dua, give him a beautiful car and give me a better car. That's ghibta. So as Aisha, I wasn't jealous of anyone except for Khadijah radiallahu ta'ala. وَلَقَدْ هَلَكَ قَبْلَ أَنْ يَتَزَوَّجَنِي بِثَلَاثِ سِنِينَ. Hazrat Khadijah had passed away 3 years before I even married the Prophet. But still I was jealous of her. I didn't even know her, meaning she was after my time. But I was still jealous of her. Why? لما كنت أسمعه يذكرها ولقد أمره ربه أن يبشرها ببيت في الجنة. Because Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam would always mention her, and Allah Himself had given Khadijah the glad tidings of Jannah in this world. وإن كان رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم يذبح الشاة. When Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam would slaughter an animal and would sacrifice an animal, ثم يهدي في خلتها منها. He would send parts of the animal to the family of Khadijah. Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, even after Khadijah passed away, he missed Khadijah so much and he loved Khadijah so much that even when he would make sacrifice, he would send meat and he would send part of the animal to the family of Khadijah. And khullatiha doesn't necessarily mean the immediate family. It can mean friends as well. And that's a narration in Bukhari Sharif. Once an elderly woman from the friends of Khadijah, not Khadijah, the friends of Khadijah, an elderly woman came to the Prophet ﷺ after her death. And the Prophet ﷺ greeted her warmly. He spoke with her, he honored her. He spread his own cloth out for this individual. And he made her sit there and he kept asking her, how is your health? How is your state? How are you? How is this? After she left, Aisha radiallahu ta'ala, she asked, who was this? How come you received her with such warmth? How come you showed her so much love and attention? Who was this? Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam mentioned, she used to come and visit us in the lifetime of Khadijah radiallahu ta'ala. When she was alive, she used to come and visit, and being good to those that were related to us or those that had a relationship with us, even after the death of this individual, it's part of faith. It's a part of faith. Now I ask you a question over here, scholars mention over here, if it is part of faith to take care of and to show love to and to show affection to somebody who was a friend of a family member of yours, imagine those actual immediate family members of ours. How much rights do they have in Islam? And it's ajib, it's something to think about. Hazrat Khudayba ibn Sa'id radiallahu ta'ala anhu mentions, I'll wrap up inshallah, he mentions that Abu Hurairah radiallahu ta'ala mentions, قال أتى جبريل النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم. Jibreel, you know, the angel who comes with revelation, he came to Nabi صلى الله عليه وسلم. فقال, and he says to Nabi صلى الله عليه وسلم, يا رسول الله, O Messenger of Allah, هذه خديجة. You know Khadijah, she's coming. قد أتت معها إناء فيه إدام أو طعام أو شراب. She's coming with a little bowl with some food or some drink. فإذا هي أتتك, when she does come to you, when she does reach you, فقرأ عليها السلام من ربها ومني. Allahu Akbar. When she comes, convey salam from Rabb. Convey salams from her Rabb to her. And convey my salams also. Who was this Khadijah radiallahu ta'ala anha? Jibreel was sent. The angel who is sent to bring the Quran, the word of Allah. This instant he of Allah. He only came to say to Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, give Allah salam to Khadijah radiallahu ta'ala anha. And by the way, minni, give my salams to Khadijah radiallahu ta'ala. What a woman she must have been walking on the face of this earth. Min Rabbi wa minni, wa bashirha. And give her glad tidings, bibaytin fil jannah min qasabin. Give her glad tidings of a home in Jannah. Min qasabin, that's made out of qasab. Qasab is, some scholars have mentioned it's pearl, some scholars have mentioned it's gold. All we know is it's something in Jannah which Allah has prepared. You know when Allah, I'll mention a point here. When Allah mentions, and the hadith mention, that your house in Jannah is made out of one gold brick, one silver brick, one gold brick. That's just for our mind to understand. Wallahi, there is no gold and silver up there. It's ma la aynun ra'at. Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam mentions the hadith, ma la aynun ra'at. Jannah is what no eye has seen. Wala udhunun sami'at, no ear has heard. And wala khatara ala qalbi bashar. You know, it's not even past your heart. It's not even, you've never even thought or dreamt of what Jannah is. Right? And so when the narrations mention gold and silver, they mention that for our comprehension in this world that those must be gold and silver houses because we see gold and silver as something special. But it's not gold and silver because Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam mentions it's something you've never even thought of. And so these are, and the scholars mention that there is nothing in Jannah that's on this world except for names. So when Allah mentions in the Quran there's bananas in Jannah, He mentions it in the Quran. Right? He's not saying there's literally the bananas in Jannah because most of the kids will be like, alright, okay, bananas. You know, no, it's a term used in this world. But what Allah refers to when He says bananas, only Allah knows best. And then Jannah, we can go on for so long about Jannah, where the quality of everything changes, the quantity of things change. You take a bite out of something, 70 flavors, the next bite is 70 different flavors, 70 better flavors. Ajib what Allah has created. Our mind can't even come close to comprehension. And so, Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam says that in Jannah you will have something called qasab. Some scholars thought, we just can't even describe it, let's just give up. And so they'll just use the term qasab. Qasab is something in Jannah only Allah knows. Some scholars have said it's pearls and it's jewels. Some scholars have said gold and silver. But only Allah knows best. La sahabah fiha wa la nasab. There will be no tiresome in Jannah. You won't get tired. There won't be noisy like a marketplace. It will be relaxing. A believer has now gone to his Lord. It's time for him to relax. He put his effort in this world and he really strove and gave some effort. He wants to get to Jannah. Allah says when you get to Jannah, la sahabah fihi wa la nasab. This was glad tidings to Khadijah radiallahu ta'ala anha. Scholars mention, I'm wrapping up now, scholars actually mention that you know when Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, Khadijah radiallahu anha passed away, Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, there was a void in his heart and he felt really saddened. And so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, this is when He revealed the gift of salah. Some scholars mention that the gift of salah, 5 times salah daily, was a kind of recompense. And O Nabi of Allah, there's this bitterness in your heart that Khadijah has passed away, let me give you a gift, the sweetness of salah. And some scholars mention that this is when Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam was given salah, to kind of distract him and to fill his heart with this kind of happiness, that I can connect directly to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Even after the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam was living in Medina. When he returned to Makkah, after Makkah was conquered, he returned. The people asked him, O Nabi of Allah, you are the leader, you are the main individual, you like the king to us, where would you like to live? Where would you like a residence? You tell us where you want to live and we'll arrange it. Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, I just want to live in Hujun. Hujun was where Khadijah radiallahu ta'ala was buried. That's where she was buried. Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, I want my residence to be in Hujun. And so Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam reciprocated this loyalty. And she showed immense loyalty to Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam in his lifetime. Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam showed this love afterwards. And I finish on this. Anas radiallahu ta'ala mentions in a hadith of Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, حسبك من نساء العالمين مريم ابنة عمران وخديجة بنت خويلد وفاطمة بنت محمد وعصية امرأة فرعون. Anas radiallahu ta'ala, he says, and it suffices to say, it's enough for me to say, حسبك من نساء, it's enough for me to say as a praise, حسبك, it suffices that I say, from the women of the world, there are 4 who were of a level of perfection. He says first, Maryam bint Imran. Maryam, mentioned in the Quran. Imran alayhi salatu wasalam story comes. We'll be doing stories of the Prophet soon as well. But Imran alayhi salatu wasalam, his wife, his daughter, Maryam. So Maryam, the daughter of Imran. The second individual, Khadijah bint Khuwaylid. The Sahabi we just mentioned today, Sahabiya we mentioned today. Khadijah, the daughter of Khuwaylid. Third, Fatima bint Muhammad. Fatima, the daughter of Muhammad. That should give you a clue of one of the individuals coming in the series, Fatima bint Muhammad. And the last, Asiya, the wife of Fir'aun, the wife of Pharaoh. When we do the story of Musa alayhi salam, we'll also cover that inshallah. And so this was a very brief life of Khadijah radiallahu ta'ala. And again, I always say, that just because Khadijah is a woman, doesn't mean that there isn't lessons in a woman for the men. Rather, there is extreme lessons, to the extent that in the story of Maryam alayhi salatu wasalam, ajib lessons that we can take as men. And Allah shows this as well. He says, وَكَانَتْ مِنَ الْقَانِتِينَ. This is a side point. وَكَانَتْ, she was. Now those who know Arabic, qaniteen is una and ina. The ending una and ina is used for masculine. Una, ina ending is used for masculine. She was an example, not for the female. Allah could have said qanitat. Allah says qaniteen. For everybody. Allah says this, that Maryam, she was an wakalat min al-qanitin, she was an example for all of the obedient slaves of Allah, male or female. And so we pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He truly grants us the ability to benefit from the lives of the Sahaba and to understand their lives and to understand their moral compass and what they were working towards and what they tried to achieve. And may He make these individuals role models for our children. Truly, these are exceptional individuals. When we genuinely look into their lives, I've scratched the surface of their life. Truly, some of the hadith that there are that I have to miss out, to condense it. But there is so much scholarship. There is so much scholarship. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala truly allow us to benefit from the lives of the Sahaba. May Allah accept your turning up. May Allah allow us to, may Allah gather us on the day of judgment, inshallah. On the Dastarkhan with these individuals. We can sit with Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, inshallah, with the Sahaba, with the scholars of old, inshallah. If there's, I can see there's some youngsters, there's some children and stuff. You're not a youngster, but we'll call you a younger man, inshallah. And so we've got some cake for you guys, inshallah, for turning up. If there's anybody young at heart and they really want some cake, then they can come forward as well, inshallah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us the talk that one has been said. Subhanallah wa bihamdihi, subhanakallah wa bihamdihi, ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta, astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Just to mention, tomorrow it's possible that it will be the second session of the Sahabah Superstar Series, or it might be a continuation of the Fiqh 101 that's happening every Tuesdays. But Wednesday, Thursday, Friday we'll continue this. It's possible, we'll decide inshallah, that it could be the Fiqh session tomorrow, or it could be the Sahabah Superstar Series. And I also say at the end of every session that next week you bring one more person, or the next session you bring one more person, inshallah, and where they can benefit as well. You won't feel lazy that, I can't bother coming, you've made somebody else come, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum. Subhanallah wa bihamdihi, subhanakallah wa bihamdihi, ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta, astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk.